अभी एकदम फाइन वाला नहीं चलेगा, अभी चलेगा ग्रेट। चलिए 5 मिनट हो गए हैं ओवर, सो शैल आई स्टार्ट नाउ?
Okay.
चलिए शुरू
Yes,
करते
sir.
हैं। हाँ, वी विल नॉट वेट टू मच।
Okay, sir.
या सो सी नाउ, कैन यू सी माय स्क्रीन मोहन जी?
Now it is coming, sir. It is coming.
It is great, that is so much nice of you to be
It came,
prompt.
sir.
Yeah, visible, sir.
Okay, now I will just request everybody to mute yourself, क्योंकि पीछे से don't mind it, कि पीछे से प्रॉब्लम होती है तो then certainly it will be troubling us people to learn. So last time I did 21st century learning skills, and there were how many learning skills, Manikya are there?
4, sir.
12.
Sorry. Total. I thought
12,
about this one.
12 in total.
Yes. Yes,
But
sir.
other ones, the literacy skills and life skills, they I will be covering in the later on modules, like this series, like this only. But the most important at present, I got this thing, what you call, request from a number of people, sir, इसमें करिए critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, and communication. So I am putting up this series for 4 consecutive days.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So let us start now. What are 4 C's? These are critical thinking, number 1, creativity or creative thinking and creativity.
Both are same only, no, sir?
No, no, ma'am.
No, sir.
Creativity is an action
Means
word.
yes, sir. What we can show
Create,
our creativity.
creative thinking is a mental process, and creativity is a physical process. When we implement those creative thinking ideas into action, then they become creativity. Otherwise, they are creative thinkings. Then collaboration, and after that, communication. Very brief, I will give you critical thinking involves logical assessing, logically assessing any information. It is not for the criticism. Today we will be doing this particular module. So I'll be just putting up the importance or benefits. You see, basically, if anybody can remember what was the time period when the Socrates existed on this earth, on this planet. This is basically the methodology named after critical thinking is has been existing on the earth for ages, for a very long time. Roman emperor, उसको उनको हम मार्कस ऑरेलियस को फिलोसोफर भी बोलते थे, और उन्होंने अपनी मेडिटेशन में एक बात कही कि एवरीथिंग वी हियर इज एन ओपिनियन नॉट अ फैक्ट. Everything we hear, everything is an opinion. So what happens over there is it is not a fact. Then because a person, if I am talking to them in Arunachal Pradesh at, let us say, 5 o'clock in the morning, and he is saying, sir, I am paying my obeisance to the Lord Sun, Surya. So certainly it may be an opinion from his side, the fact from his side. It may be fact, but for me, it is not truth because I am in North India. Arunachal mein, there is the sun rises first in the east, and Arunachal Pradesh is the state where the sun rises the first. So it is an opinion, and it is not a fact because it is in a particular perspective. And then certainly it came. Fast forward थोड़ा सा कर देंगे तो बॉयस ने आइंस्टीन, रसल, मार्टिन लूथर किंग जूनियर, the all countless number of philosophers have been there thinking and then putting up their ideas. What they say is that with the practice of extolling the benefits of critical thinking, is literally thousands and thousands of years old. But what exactly is importance? First, let us take a dip into what it is. You see, the term critical is derived from the Greek word kritikos, which means able to judge or discern, to come to an inference, because it gives us the ability to connect between different ideas or different facts. And it is very much important because some skills, they come naturally to us. Some skills naturally without any training. Whereas some of them, they need concerted effort on our part. Concerted effort means mindful action on our part to learn them. And critical thinking is also one of them. The only thing is that we have to follow a number of steps over here. Now, secondly, critical thinking is an emotional process. It is also a form of emotional intelligence. You see, if I give you a piece of information, it gives a boost up to rise of emotions in your mind. But the critical thinking, if these skills are, and they can be developed, if they are developed in you, in person, तो क्या होता है कि they give you an idea as to how clearly and rationally you can think. There are a number of things coming on the internet, rather it is bombarded with the reports. There are riots over there, there was killing over there was fire over there, and a number of other rubbish. When we go for the FLIPS, IMT, the second set of 21st century skills, IMT, that is information literacy, media literacy, and technology literacy. Over there, we will be discussing this further, how to apply that particular skill to find out whether a particular information which has been given to you is right or not. And I will give you a very brilliant example. Then you will be all confused, particularly the people living in South India, Shivamonti ji, Manikyamba ji, they all will be all surprised, and you will be starting to explore the internet. But you try to develop these skills in you, that is critical thinking, because through this you will be able to analyze what you see or you gain, what the information you have been provided with. You gain insights that will give you a further in-depth knowledge of what exactly is obvious. जो बाहर से दिखता है वो अंदर नहीं होता है. Which seems to be beautiful from outside may not be beautiful inside, and which may not be beautiful outside may be beautiful inside. So you don't have to decide, judge, or come to a conclusion just looking at the fact or looking at the, say for example, I am saying, okay, I will give you example, a right living example after this. So people who apply critical thinking skills consistently, they are said to be having a critical mindset, a thinking mindset. And that is why critical thinking is also called thinking of thinking. We think about what I am thinking is right or not. So, critical, generally people take it for that critical means to criticize, but it is not the fact. It doesn't mean being negative or focusing on faults. It is basically a balanced measurement of the information, what you are being given or you see. So these attributes can be learned and improved through mindful practices. Mindful means knowingly we do this. A number of steps are there. I will be discussing them one by one. Now let me give you a living example. You might be very much public opinion on drinking coffee on health. So Manikamba ji, how many cup of coffee you drink in a day?
Sir, I won't drink coffee at all.
Okay, and tea?
Tea, yes, sir. Morning 1 cup, evening 1 cup after school,
Okay,
before going to
Shivamurthy
school.
ji, how much coffee do you drink?
Tea only, sir. I also nearly 3 to 4 cups every day.
Acha, Mohanji, how much you drink?
Actually, there is no certain amount of the coffee, sir. When I get the chance, drink the coffee. Otherwise, on regular basis, tea is.
Lalita Rao ji is also from the Kola belt. From so you can let me know how much coffee
Yeah.
do you drink?
So morning one and evening one, 2 cup
Okay.
coffee daily.
Dr. Anupama Sharma is there. She is principal and might be under tension. Somebody might have told you, ma'am, that there is a very relieving effect of coffee on the mind, and you might have seen if you go to a party, if you go to a meeting, conference, or seminar, you will see all the suit-clad people. They will go to the coffee counter, have a cup of coffee, and sip. Now, if you go for the Google search, you will find a number of benefits. It lowers type 2 diabetes, it supports brain health. This is major. It increases longevity of the life. It promotes weight management. And if you write in the Google search bar, drawbacks of coffee, it increases cholesterol level. It causes heartburns, palpitations, sweating, nervousness. Too much of coffee gives you insomnia, anxiety, jitteriness. अब बताइए, if you have got these two different type of opinions from two different sources, and if you don't critically think about, then what you will be doing? You will be in a confusion whether to drink coffee or not. Tell me, Shivamurthy ji, am I right or not? So these type of
Sir.
informations, when they come from different sources, a critical mindset will certainly analyze. An analysis on not on your own. Getting inferences from Google search, so I have already written over here. बहुत research करता हूँ sir. Every webinar when I put up, I put in all my labor for 3 weeks researching all the things. So this was the best example I got, and I put it over here. These are all the Google search results. Now looking at these two results, what you will like to do? Go for the benefits or go for the drawbacks?
Go for the drawbacks only, sir.
Drawbacks only, sir.
Everybody. But then why don't you think about that? It lowers diabetes also, it supports brain health also, it promotes weight management also, it increases lifelongness. So,
Sir, excuse me, sir.
Uh,
In a scientific way also, coffee contains caffeine, no, sir. Tea
caffeine,
contains theophylline, it circulates the bloods.
tannins.
So
Yeah,
that will prefer compare with the coffee tea.
that is your opinion.
Scientifically.
But that is
Yes.
your opinion.
No, sir, scientifically they said
These are also
in
scientific.
science.
Madam, these
Yes,
are also
sir.
scientifically proven.
But anything access is
This-
allowed, of course.
can I say something?
Yes, sure,
Can I
sure.
say something, sir?
Yes, yes.
Can
Come on,
check
come on.
on what is the give effect, because calculate both benefits and drawbacks, and which, like, I can copy in a limit. If I'll wisely, I'll take only limited.
But then,
Benefits
Acha,
for
okay. Now-
for us. It can reduce the threat, drawbacks also. Chance of drawbacks also.
Everything has good effect, bad effect. Now let me see. I
Yes,
give
sir.
you one example. A person is 256 pounds. Let us say the weight of a person is 110 kg.
Okay, sir.
What inference you will get out of it? What can you conclude out of this information if I give you this information that a person is 110 kg? Shivamurthy ji, can you conclude something? Dr. Sharma, can you?
Sir, about this one, sir, benefits or drawbacks of coffee.
No, not this. I am talking about a person is 110 kg in weight.
He is suffering with
Cholesterol.
obesity, too much
Obesity.
weight.
Okay, any other thing?
Cholesterol.
Any
Sir,
other
he
thing?
does not do exercises and he is not aware of about his diet.
Okay,
Yes.
It is going to lead so many other health issues in the near future.
okay.
He should take care, sir.
Let me conclude all these things. You see, we have come to the conclusion that the person is overweight. Obesity can lead to other diseases. We have come without any critical thinking, we have come to the conclusion. But a critical thinker will go for height and then
Exactly, sir.
calculate body mass index. If I talk to you about that, this is the data I gave you about Khali, 110 kg about Khali. You know Khali, the WW fighter from India, or Dara Singh.
Yes, sir. WWF fighter.
अब बताइए अब उसके बारे में अगर ये इंफॉर्मेशन होती तो आप क्या कहेंगे?
No, sir. He's perfect.
Then this is why I am saying कि we don't jump to the conclusion. If we are critical thinkers, we don't jump to the conclusion. Sir, what is his age? Sir, what is his height? What is his body mass index? And then we come to the conclusion that from body mass index, he is fit. Now let us explore other things. What is the importance of this critical thinking? That is what I am telling you. ये दोनों examples, these both examples will play a very important role in developing this module further. Some occupation, they demand this thing. Teaching profession में तो जितने भी skills हैं, they are required very much. Unless and until you are a critical thinker, you will not be able to find out why a student is performing bad having studying for nearly 4 hours to 6 hours a day. He studies too much, but he is not scoring. His performance is not good. What conclusion we come? That he doesn't have a good memory. Without going into the background, what is the family background? Whether he gets the time to study back at home, or whether he is working as a laborer part-time to support his family. A number of factors are there. But some occupations demand it, and teaching is most important for us because I deal generally with the teaching. So number one is, they infer facts. Critical thinking is this crucial aspect of our career where we infer facts without bias, examining the context, and then solve the challenge. If we find this particular child, then a critical thinking as a teacher, we will come with a solution that I will spare some of my personal time to coach this student. It improves decision making. Why? Because you investigate. You choose an objective reasoning over immediate emotional reaction. जैसे हमने अभी दोनों cases में देखा, we all came to one conclusion. Coffee is bad for health. Coffee is good for health. If I have high cholesterol, I will not go for coffee. If I have got blood pressure, I will not go for coffee. If I am obese, I will go for coffee. So number of factors are there. Now, similarly, the third thing is that they are more content because they go for introspection. What conclusion I am drawing from the information? What conclusion I am drawing from this information which has been given to me is correct or not? So critically thinking about it, then only I will be able to come. That is, it implies the personal growth and it amplifies the general satisfaction of a person. Next one is keep you well informed, because whatsoever the information is being given to you, you will certainly research it. Try to find out more information about about that particular information, more details, elaborate, very objective, and you become well informed on this issue. And this is very important for workplace interaction. Why? Because unless and until you go for this introspection or well-informed research, you will be just indulging in staff room gossips. Staff room में gossip होती है. Every staff room of at least all the school setups have got this particular disease, I'll tell you, more dangerous than any other pandemic. And this is gossiping. Everywhere it goes, it harms the persons, it harms the people, opinion making, everything it harms. But still the teachers are involved. Unless and until you are well informed about this particular information, don't go for any type of gossip. And gossips, when they travel from person to person, they change their shape. Now, next is it helps in self-reflection, which means whatsoever my attitude is, my views are there, they can change because I am self-reflective. In the light of new facts, in the light of my research, in the light of new information which I gather about a particular information, I research and I get well informed, and then I self-reflect what I came to the conclusion or I inferred was good or not. It encourages curiosity in a person. And how it increases curiosity? Because you will certainly, when you go for research, then you go for understanding of not the world surrounding that information, surrounding us or the situation, but our own experiences also. And this extends to the topics we teach in the school. So that is why we find it relevant in the daily life. It enhances creativity. अभी next हमारा module आएगा creative thinking और creativity में. Over there we will be utilizing this particular critical skills there. It reinforces problem solving because we will be researching, we will be finding out more facts about the information and then utilizing that information to solve the problem. Because children today, they are leaders of tomorrow and they will be facing more complex problems or challenges, and that is why they need critical thinking for this. It is a skill for life, not for just learning. Because in the formative years, if you develop this particular critical thinking in your kids, मैं बताऊंगा बाद में कैसे करना है, बच्चों के अंदर कैसे करना है. I will let you know about. Explore these things. And then you will see that they are not just only for learning, but they are meant for living a fulfilled, wholesome life. Success and well-being beyond the formative years. It is a multifaceted practice because critical thinking, it is a cross-curricular activity for the mind. When you are thinking critically, analyzing, बहुत सारे steps होते हैं, analyzing the thing, analyzing the information, analyzing the situation, getting on the cross checks, then a number of activities your mind performs, and how to stay ahead of that particular information, the well-informed person you will be, and how you can develop this thing. If the student is given this critical thinking skill, they can be trained. So they think of themselves and they learn to become independent of us. Generally हमारा एक purpose होता है जो मारिया मोंटेसेरी ने भी कहा था कि when I am not in the class and people or pupil are engaged in learning, that day I will believe that my teaching is or my coming into this profession is worth. Otherwise, it is useless. And this is what we say. Now also I am saying they learn to become independent. or independent learner. They learn in absence of us. And that is our sole purpose of education. The next one is very important, because unless and until you know how to think critically, it will not lessen the chances of climbing the ladder of hierarchy, the progress in whatsoever the industry you are. But if we are not able to think critically about the systems, we will be susceptible to the things like manipulation. He is using me for particular purpose. Or frauds. Online frauds kitne hote hain? Reserve Bank of India is coming out with this. The banks are also coming out with this. Never share your OTP or PIN with anybody under any circumstances. So they are keeping you well informed beforehand. अगर हो भी जाते हैं तो then Amitabh Bachchan comes into play कि within 3 days you inform, because transaction takes a number of days. So if it is in transaction, it will be stopped then and there only, wherever it is, and the money returned to your bank immediately. So inform your bank about this illegal transaction if it is done, not deliberately by you. Now, what are the abilities of critical thinker? It is a left brain activity. और इसमें क्या क्या हो सकता है? What a person does is, first is he is able to analyze. Or analysis is the word which it implies breaking down the information into parts and examining each part, how they fit together, how they work. Just like, for example, just now I told you a little bit before, 110 kg of a person. So we analyze what is his height, what is his body mass index, what is his age, and everything we analyze, break into things. So as per height, then we compare into chart. As per height, this should be the range of the weight. And then body mass index, how to calculate that. Then second is arguments. Argumentation is not only deliberate and negative argument and putting up your point always that I am right. No, it is your opinion. You may be right, you may be wrong. Have you heard a story of Mrs. Thompson and Toddy Stoddard? मैंने आपने किसी वेबिनार में इसको कई बार रिपीट किया है. I will send you that story in the attachment when I give you the certificates after last part of the series. I have noted it down. That is Toddy Stoddard and Mrs. Thompson. You cannot gain first impression is the last impression. This is all wrong. This is not valid now. So argument logically, backed by evidence. Then next is classification. What the information you get, classify into particular grouping. And then you will see that how each category is different from others. And then contrasting or comparing that particular, the similarities and difference between two or more than two subjects. One information is giving benefits of coffee, another is giving drawbacks of coffee. So what are the similarities in these two? Both contain caffeine. Coffee contains caffeine. This is similar for the benefits also and drawbacks also. Caffeine to hoti hai. So what are the benefits of caffeine? We can come. Instant coffee is better or not? That also we will try to analyze and then compare. And then we try to define also the meaning of the term. That is denotations, connotations, synonyms, antonyms. Everything we go for in details. And then we describe them by traits: size, shape, weight, use, origin, value, color, location. Everything we compare, we describe, we categorize, we define, we classify, and then further what we do is evaluate. Evaluate means to see whether it is worth of something to be compared with other or not. What are the similarities between a cow and an elephant? Anybody can open up your mic and let me know. What are the similarities of cow and
Both are mammals, sir.
both are mammals? That is good. Any other thing?
Both
Very
are
quickly.
both
Very
are
quick.
vegetarians only, sir.
Spiritual.
Elephant. Both are related to our gods. Both have
Yes.
4 legs. Both of them cannot fly.
Mm.
A number of things come into action.
Both of them eat vegetarian food only, sir.
Vegetarian food, yes, both of them are vegetarian. So we evaluate by comparing. Now, if we have to tell others, then also it comes to explaining, because we have worked out a number of things till now, down the tracking the cause and effect, which means what is happening, why it is happening, how it is happening, and what will be the result. So that will give you an insight into problem solving. That is a great effect. Now, next one is very important. How to be a critical thinker. 7 steps. Very quick. Number 1 is identify the problem or the question. Which means be precise as possible, means narrow the issue. As much narrow the sentence or the problem is, you will be able to find a correct answer. The problem will be minimized and the solution will be maximized if you identify first the problem. Then gather data, opinion, and arguments for and against. Debate yourself. Debate yourself. Argument with yourself only. Your left brain is working. Put your arguments on one side. और इसका सबसे बढ़िया तरीका है write down your arguments. Your own arguments for against, for against, for against. And then different ideas you put and your point of view, compare them again. Now analyze and evaluate the data, which means where from you have got the data, whether the source is reliable or not. They are data backed or just only argumentative. Is there enough information at present now, or I want some more? Because there is a difference between hypothesis and theory. Hypothesis is based on argumentative statements, but when they are data backed and when there is enough data to support, then that hypothesis becomes theory. And when theory is taken into action, then it becomes law. Newton's first law of motion. First it was a hypothesis, practically, then it becomes a theory. Every action has equal and opposite reaction. The argumentative type comes, equal cannot be, because if we throw a ball on the wall, slowly and slowly and slowly it will come to rest, which means action doesn't have equal and opposite reaction. The reaction is opposite, fine, but it is not equal. Then other things come into play. There is friction also. So we go for this type of information. Then identify the assumptions which are unbiased. The source should be unbiased, whether this is coming from experimenting and then finding out the solution or just jumping to the conclusion. and finally you find out the information which you have got gathered, which is important. We have practiced a particular theory on a small group, and when it is experimented with the larger group, then the size comes into matter. When we apply those assumptions on a small group, we may come out of 10, there are 10% failure. Out of 100, 10% failure. Out of 1000, 10% failure. So 900 have passed, 90 have passed, 9 have passed. So that makes broader relevance to the experimentation and gathering the data and coming to the influence or inference. And then lastly, then make a decision and reach a conclusion, which means when you identify various conclusions are possible, weigh them with their strength, their limitations, and then finally you come to a final conclusion. Yes, this is obvious that this conclusion is the best conclusion. Now, then present your communication, present or communicate. So what is then presented to all stakeholders? जैसे हम लोग स्कूल्स में फीस बढ़ाते हैं मोहन जी, how do we do that? We take into practice a number of factors, whether we have to increase or not. The trustee immediately says we are running in the loss. The chairman says bring the data. Accountants are brought in, chartered accountants are brought in, and then chairman keep on asking the questions. What is the electricity bill? What is the water bill? What is the salary bill? What are the overhead expenses? And a number of other things. Right? पेट्रोल में कितना जाता है, डीजल में कितना जाता है, बोनसेस में कितना जाता है, जो रिटायर होते हैं उनके लिए ग्रेचुटी भी होती है, 5 साल के बाद ग्रेचुटी देते हैं, उसमें कितना जाता है, overhead expenses which are unseen, and then the income, the source of income is only one, that is fee structure. So what are the solutions? Increase the fees. The chairman comes, fees will remain same, increase the admission. बताइए मोहन जी, this is a logical conclusion or not? Let the fees remain same. Now put more pressure on admissions. How to increase admissions, sir? Again another meeting comes up. So unless and until you make a rightful decision, train your teachers, give them facilities, and then you come to the conclusion, then you present it to all. He still, we have got 1000 students. If we increase our students up to 1400, then only will be at par. Income expenditure will be balanced, which means if we have to go for further expansion of the school, we have to increase the admissions. But with that, we have to put in pressure on increasing the infrastructure also, more classrooms, more teachers. A number of factors come into play. So got my 7 steps, everybody?
Yes.
If anybody has got any doubt, you can ask now. Now just another 5, 10, 15 minutes. Next is how I can improve. First, identification. First, you must have a clear picture of the situation, the people, the groups, the factors, the statement, the information, everything must be analyzed, gather information, wo 7 steps hai, and then have a clear picture of the problem. But how to improve the identification? Number 1, who is doing that? Who is behind this particular action? Then, what seems to be the reason for this happening? And then end result, how could they change? What are the end result? That is identification. Critical thinking का सबसे पहला process is to get the clear picture of the situation or information whatsoever it is. Then number 2 is research. अब आपके पास clear picture आ गई problem की, then you research about it. But then, how do research? Whether this information is from unsourced claim or source claim. If it is from source claim, whether it will be helpful to develop or not. Whether the person posing the argument offers where they get information from. ये information मिली कहाँ से उन्हें? If it is unsourced, which means the person is not able to pinpoint the source of that, it is very much considered to be red flagged. Red flag समझते हैं ना? To be considered in the last. And if it is still found unsuitable, reject, which means it is not valid at present. So this way you can improve by researching. Number 3 is identifying biases. Whatsoever you are giving to me, the information, whether it is objective or not, debate. You must have the courage to debate and argue with your own thoughts. एक तरफ मेरा दिल बोलता है, एक तरफ मेरा दिमाग बोलता है. Whether to listen to heart or whether to listen to heart. Oh, my brain or mind. दिल की सुनो या दिमाग की. This is a very much a greater problem when you are in a serious problem or serious situations to analyze it. So ask yourself this question. Number 1, who does this affect or benefit? जिसने ये मेरे को इंफॉर्मेशन दी है उसका अपना एजेंडा क्या है? What is his motive behind this information giving to me? Whether this information is being given in such a language or such a comprehension that the audience is certainly likely to change it. अभी बागेश्वर धाम के बारे में आपने देखा होगा कि एबीपी न्यूज, आज तक और ये सारे के सारे चैनल्स, more or less everybody and a number of pundits and a number of experimentation scientists, they came up कि I can read your mind. I can find out what is going on in your mind. जो कि हम साधारण तौर पे हम भी देख लेते हैं. If a person is just looking at the wall with a blank face, certainly you will come to the conclusion he is thinking something. Tell me, Mohanji, am I right or not?
Right, sir.
Madhvi ji has also joined us. That is great. Now, next thing is कि whether this is attached to some agenda or not. The person giving me information has some benefit or not. And then language. The next one is inference. अभी मैंने 260 pounds वाला एक example दिया था now. You may infer that he is overweight or unhealthy, जैसा कि most of the responses were there. But an educated guess will be saying, मैं उसकी height भी देखूंगा, मैं उसकी age भी देखूंगा, and then only body mass index भी calculate करेंगे. After that only I will be able to find out कि whether this information is right, my inference is right or not. So whatsoever the information is given to you, you have to, again 7 steps, then you improve upon it. So how to improve is this thing. Whatsoever the information you have got, go for a conscious effort to infer correctly. Objectively you analyze. Say for example, if you got an information in the newspaper or on the television, news channel, you say what it is, headlines, images, statistics on that, and then make a point to ask yourself, what is going on? What I am looking at is authentic or not? Right? Next is determining relevance. Whatsoever this is the most challenging part of your critical thinking skills. Everything is clear up to this point, but now whatsoever the inference I have got, Is it giving me a right direction to move on? Is it giving me a basis to reach a justifiable solution? It will be acceptable to all. So, whenever we say whether it is truly relevant or not relevant, so make a list of strategy or data or information, positive point, pros and cons. And then at the bottom, you may disregard or reject that particular information. That is determining relevance. You see how you can improve? Curiosity. Because every time, whenever we are researching, it is giving us a clue as to find out more details, more details, more details. That is researching. And why we are researching? Because it generates curiosity in us. Let me find out whether this is or not. This is relevant or not. So you can. It is nothing to have been instilled in you right from the birth. You can never have this particular curiosity in your mind, but this has to be, and in the kids also, in the child's minds also, it has to be developed. A conscious effort. Open-ended question पूछिए. अभी देखिए जैसे अब होली आती है, तो होली में your child asks whether I should go out with my friends and play colors or not. Sit with him quietly. मैंने बताया हमारे प्रोफेशन के लिए सबसे जरूरी दो चीजें हैं, be polite and be humble with everybody whosoever it is. Bring him to your table, dining table, बैठे वहां पे, उसको दूध का एक ग्लास दे and you have a cup of tea, not coffee. And then start listing it out. If they are organic colors, fine. If they are chemical colors, not fine. If they cause irritation to your skin, not fine. If they are pleasant smelling, fine. If they are floral colors, it is fine. If they are not floral colors, they are not fine. If there is temperature is down and you are playing with water, not fine. If the temperature is around 25, 26 degrees, you can play with the water without getting any cold, it is fine. So number of conscious efforts have to be put in, open-ended questions. In your everyday life also, you put this thing into action. And then you can invest your time to follow up these questions one by one, one by one. Start brainstorming your child now. मोहन जी, बच्चों के साथ बैठना शुरू कर दीजिए and try to find out what it is going on, whether we should play or not. Now, Maniki Ambaji will say, Madhvi ji will also say, we will be having very great dishes. नमकीन भी बनेगा, स्वीट डिशेस भी बनेंगी, हैं? और खसखस का दूध भी होगा, flavored milk will also be there, and we will play with organic colors, but we will play on the rooftop with all our family members. There will be music also, there will be dance also. Convince that particular child, his curiosity is satisfied. And once it is satisfied, okay, fine, he'll say, Mama, I will play 1 hour with you, 10 minutes with my friend. Those 10 minutes will be dangerous, might be dangerous, may be fruitful also. But don't try to impose your decision. Stop. I'm saying no means no. Never do this. Because you have to instill, my last webinars were values, habits, mannerism, etiquettes, virtues. They all come from this politeness and humbleness. Critical thinking develop karenge, everything will be developed. Now, if you want to improve your critical thinking, these are certain 13 techniques. Play games that require critical thinking skills. Sudoku kheliye. If I put this number over here, will it be having the same number in the same row and same column or not? Right to play crosswords. Ask more questions, even the basic ones. Why and why not? Question your own assumptions. You assume this thing may happen, but question it. Yourself, you question it. That might happen, but it is not compulsory that it may happen. Overspeeding kills. Everywhere on the highways, it is written, overspeeding kills. But then why don't you have speed breakers on the highways? To control the speed you can have. But then what is the fun of having highway if there are speed breakers? So we gave them a visual warning, speed kills. Right? Another thing, don't mix drinking and driving. Another mix is there. They write over there visual warning. Plus, they have got physical checks also from place to place. Breathalyzers are there. So, question your assumptions. My optimum speed on highway should be not more than 80, but they are running at 120. Find ways to solve more problems at work and at home. Today, I tell you, I don't know whether I am a critical thinker or not, but the thing is, I believe so. I put in my thinking, one of my latches, they broke in the evening time. There was no latch available on the shop, that hardware shop. And tomorrow being Tuesday, the market will be closed. If I don't close the door properly, there will be a lot of mosquitoes in my bedroom and I will be all finished. By the morning, I will be a delicious food to hundreds and thousands of mosquitoes. Nearly 2 to 3 kg, 4 kg of blood will be out of my body. What to do? So what I did is, I took a number of rubber bands that are wrapped around the newspaper who used to throw the news in my balcony. I took a number of rubber bands, tied them together and put them as a latch. And now it is okay. Till Wednesday morning, I am out of reach. Try to do something new. Nowhere you will see a rubber band being used as a latch. But I am using it. So be aware of your mental processes. Don't be biased against or for. Have a clear thought. What I am doing is going to benefit or will certainly be non-beneficial or maybe harmful also. Don't adopt other people's opinion without questioning them. Without questioning, don't go for that. Seek out diversity of your own thoughts. Somebody asked me, sir, आप मंदिर नहीं जाते हैं? मैंने कहा नहीं. Because there is a temple in my heart and temple in my home. Sir, which Lord you pray? You see, what is basically I want to insist is that there is no difference in the deities. The only difference is how I react to them. If I have got faith in my heart, then certainly my thoughts will be pure and my actions will be pure. But everybody insists, नहीं, मंदिर जाना चाहिए. मंदिर जाना चाहिए. किसने चला दिया भजन? Somebody started playing a bhajan मंदिर के नाम से. So I move forward now. Few things. Start developing foresight. Before taking action, think about what will be the end result. Foresight. Try active listening whenever some problem is being posed to you. Think about critical. Think about, go for active listening. whatsoever the person is to put, let him finish and then you start. This is one of the part of manners also, I told you. Weigh the consequences of different actions before you act. बच्चा शोर मचा रहा है तो आप क्या करेंगे? अभी यहाँ पर शोर मचा रहा है, अभी यहाँ पर मैंने देखा एक भजन चल गया. Rather than I tell you to mute yourself, I muted from here without disturbing anybody, without disturbing my own thoughts, without disturbing my own talking. The last two are more or less important. Seek a mentor who can help you develop these skills, critical skills. इसमें analysis है, and then observation है, inferences है, then conclusions भी है. उससे पहले analysis is most important. Gathering information भी है, research भी है, brainstorming भी है, number of things. And finally, get a professional coaching. If anybody is available in your neighborhood on the web, try to find it out. Critical thinking की और further training लीजिएगा. ये मैं this video I will put in the group. First, I will put it in my YouTube. I told you, Mohanji and Manikyambaji might be knowing right from the beginning that my YouTube channel contains only educational videos, nothing else. So I will be putting up there and sharing the link with you. So the next step will be creative thinking that we'll be doing on first evening, 1st of March. Let us start Monday with this particular skill, that is creative thinking or creativity. Both are different, but more or less up to 90% they are linked to each other. I will stop sharing the screen now and request you people, if anybody of you has got any problem, any question in my today's presentation, you may come up, unmute yourself and please come up. Madhvi ji, आपका तो introduction हुआ नहीं. You have been coming for the first time, and probably she was the 5th person to come into this webinar on this platform particularly. The first one was Mr. Sandeep Kumar Jain. संदीप जी आप हैं इधर अभी? तो जरा थोड़ा सा
यस सर.
थोड़ा वीडियो भी खोलो सर, तो थोड़ा सा आपका स्माइलिंग फेस दिखाई देगा. पगड़ी वगड़ी तो आपने बहुत अच्छी बांध रखी है.
हेलो सर.
हेलो सर, वेरी गुड इवनिंग. माधवी जायसवाल जी भी हैं. यस, वेरी गुड इवनिंग मैम.
Good evening, sir.
वेरी गुड इवनिंग मैम. ललिता राव जी भी हैं. डॉक्टर शर्मा इज आवर ओल्ड.
Sir, my question is that if sometimes we will be absent, means we will join late, can we get the total link?
सर लिंक तो मैं आपको every day I am sharing the link, every webinar I am sharing the link at 4 o'clock. Today also you see 4:30
No,
it
no.
might be written.
A link means
No, I think he means the recording.
Recording,
recording.
yes, certainly. Recording everybody will get, whosoever is present today. Just put yes in the chat box. In the chat box, I will see the yes who are all present today, and then only I will be issuing the certificate final, which will be after 6th. So let me take this attendance. Manvi ji is there, and Hemlata ji is also there, and
Yes, sir.
and Sandeep Kumar Jaiswal ji is also there. Virendra Pal ji is also there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then Dr. Sharma is there. Then Mr. Rajneesh Gautam is not there. How come, ma'am, aap theek thak hai?
Yes, sir. And sir, these two are my colleagues, Madhvi as well as Lalita. Very talented
Acha.
ladies, sir. Yes, sir.
That's great.
Hmm.
This is very much great that you people
Good
are
to see
all
you here.
working together.
Yes, sir. Very
That's
hi,
great.
ma'am.
Hello, ma'am.
अभी दिन में आप लोग स्कूल में नहीं मिले थे?
नहीं sir, actually when I was in army public school na,
Mhm.
that time we were working together. Now I'm shifted here in Bhopal.
Okay. Army public school, which place?
Actually
in Talbehet.
Talbehet. So ma'am is still there.
Which
And
place, ma'am?
Talbehet, sir, Talbehet, near Lalitpur.
Lalitpur is in UP.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
It's in UP.
Okay, Lalitpur, Fatehpur, they are all nearby areas, no?
no sir, Lalitpur is near to Jhansi. It
Ah,
is
this is the border of
45
MP, UP.
kilometers. Yes,
UP,
sir.
MP border.
Yes, sir.
Right,
Until
right.
Yes, sir.
UP, right.
That is great. I have
And
been
ma'am,
to
how are you? After so much long time I'm seeing you, ma'am.
Yeah, hello Lalita ma'am.
Hi, ma'am.
हाँ,
तो संदीप जी मैं क्या कह रहा
Yeah.
था कि you
Yeah.
will everybody will get
जी,
the
sir.
recording of this session. Everybody will get the recording of this session. All right.
Okay, sir.
So there is no problem.
Yes.
Me